Everyone says that buying a car is a terrible investment, that from the moment you drive it off the lot, you're already losing money. And in most cases, that's true. But what if I told you there are cars that do exactly the opposite? Cars that, over time, don't depreciate, they appreciate. Vehicles that are worth more today than they were 10 years ago. And no, we're not just talking about collectible Ferraris or unattainable Lamborghinis. We're talking about models that were once relatively affordable, but are now rolling treasures. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 cars that defy all the rules of the automotive market. Cars that are worth a fortune today, not because of fashion, but because of history, rarity, and soul. Imagine this, the late 1990s. In a corner of the world, Japan is creating machines that not only go fast but also tell stories. And in that setting, it appears compact, aggressive, with a sharp look and a roar of 280 horsepower. It wasn't just another sports sedan. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 came loaded with racing DNA. Literally. At first glance, it seemed like just another compact sedan, but inside it hid a rally soul. A 2-liter turbocharged engine capable of delivering 280 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and a revolutionary system for the time: the active yaw control. This system allowed for electronic adjustment of how power was distributed between the rear wheels, improving cornering stability and giving the driver a sense of total control, even at the edge of the limit. The result? A car with a wild spirit, but with technological intelligence. A tamed beast that, in the right hands, could perform wonders on any track. An Evo 4 that a decade ago could be bought for less than $10,000 now easily exceeds $30,000 if it's in good condition. And if we're talking about pristine units with a clean history and original parts, the figure can go even higher. It's not just nostalgia, it's supply, demand, and an unwritten rule among collectors. Those who know what they have don't give it away. That's why the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 is not just a car that appreciates in value. It's a symbol of mechanical rebellion that, while others age, it gains worth. And if this surprised you, wait until you learn about the next one. A German sedan that was ignored for years, but is now in the sights of collectors worldwide. What if a car with a serious, almost boring appearance had the heart of an athlete inside? That's the BMW M5 E34. A vehicle that, for years, went unnoticed among enthusiasts until the market began to awaken. Because behind its elegant facade of a 1990s sedan lies a hand-built machine, designed to devour the highway without breaking a sweat. In a world where everything is digital and automated, this M5 represents the analog, the visceral, a machine that demands the driver to be present, to feel every gear, every vibration, every curve. A car that doesn't drive you, it forces you to drive it. And that, for true enthusiasts, is priceless. In fact, a few years ago you could find units for less than $20,000. Today, prices have started to rise sharply. A well-preserved BMW M5 E34 now easily goes for around $40,000. And the touring versions reach even higher prices due to their rarity and uniqueness. And although many still don't know it, the M5 E34 is already a rising gem, a silent classic that's starting to roar in the collector circles. And what's next? Get ready for a change of pace. We're going to shift from German elegance to Japanese freedom. There are cars that are driven with the hands and others that are driven with the soul. That's the Honda S2000, a roadster that wasn't born to break records on the track, but to leave a mark on hearts on the road. Produced between 1999 and 2009, the S2000 was Honda's love letter to driving purists. A car that shunned unnecessary weight, excessive luxury, and digital distractions. Its essence was the direct connection between the driver and the road, period. Anyone who has driven an S2000 knows there are no screens to distract you, nor assistants to correct you. Just you, the steering wheel, and a machine responds with surgical precision to every movement. It's a constant conversation between human and machine. And in times where cars drive you, the S2000 invites you to drive. Over the years, its popularity has grown, especially in markets where it's increasingly difficult to find one without extreme modifications. Well-maintained units with their original engine and low mileage are skyrocketing in value. From costing less than $15,000 a few years ago, there are now units that exceed $40,000, and even more if they are in collectible condition. The Honda S2000 has become a symbol of freedom, youth, and well-crafted rebellion. It's the car that many dreamed of having in their youth, and now that they can, they are willing to pay whatever it takes to relive that dream. And speaking of dreams, the next cars seem to have it all: luxury, technology, and the backing of a great brand. But it was a commercial failure. The irony? Now it's starting to be worth more than ever. Sometimes, luxury doesn't need to boast, it just needs time to be understood. Such was the Volkswagen F Yeti, a car that, when it hit the market in 2002, left everyone bewildered. Because how is it possible for a brand like Volkswagen, associated with popular cars, to dare to compete in the same league as Audi, BMW, and even Bentley? But that's exactly what they did. and they not only dared, they succeeded. This Volkswagen had individual cooling for each seat, double-glazed windows, adaptive air suspension, a climate control system that kept the temperature exact in each zone, and soundproofing that directly competed with Rolls-Royce. It could even maintain its interior at 22 degrees, with an outside temperature of 50. Inside, it was pure elegance. On the outside, too discreet. Today, 2 decades later, the Volkswagen Phaeton is experiencing a quiet renaissance. Those who knew it closely understand they were in the presence of an engineering masterpiece. Since many of these models were cared for by demanding owners, it is still possible to find units in excellent condition. Prices, which had dropped below $10,000, are starting to rise. There are collectors who are already paying more than $20,000 for well-equipped versions, especially those with the W12 engine or the V10 TDI. 2 mechanical gems hard to find in any modern car. But beyond the money, what makes the Phaeton special is its history. It is a reminder that true luxury doesn't need to shout and that the boldest ideas sometimes just need time to be recognized. And if you found it impressive how a Volkswagen became a collector's item, wait for what's coming next. In the next chapter, you'll meet an off-roader that doesn't give up, doesn't break, and never goes out of style. A model that ages with dignity and becomes a bit more valuable each year. There are cars that age, and there are others that become legends. That's the first-generation Land Rover Discovery, a vehicle that was born in 1989 as a more affordable alternative to the iconic Range Rover, but over time proved that it had its own personality. And what a personality it has. The Discovery Mk1 was designed to be robust, reliable, and capable, intended for the family but ready for the desert, to cross the city, but also to traverse a canyon. Its boxy design, high windows, and ability to tackle impossible terrains made it very popular among explorers, geologists, adventurers, and anyone looking for more than just a pretty car. The most coveted models are those with the legendary Rover V8 engine, a simple yet powerful mechanism that still roars with dignity today if well maintained. And although many have been mistreated on difficult terrains, the units that have been kept in good condition are becoming increasingly rare and more valuable. Because there is something that collectors and nostalgics value more than luxury or speed: authenticity. And the Discovery Mk1 has it in abundance. In a world full of SUVs that look alike, this Land Rover continues to stand out, not only for its retro aesthetic but because it was built to last. And that's why its value is rising. Models that you could previously get for $5,000 or $6,000 are now reaching $15,000 or even $20,000, depending on the condition, mileage, and configuration. And this trend shows no signs of stopping. Moreover, there's an emotional element that we can't ignore. Many people who are now looking for a Discovery grew up seeing it in movies, on safaris, on expeditions. It's a car that evokes memories, dreams, and moments. And that, for someone who loves cars, is pure gold. 5 cars, 5 stories, 5 proofs that, in the world of motors, not everything depreciates. Because while most vehicles lose value as soon as they leave the dealership, there are some that, like fine wine or highlighted books, gain value with each passing year. Not because they are perfect, but because they have history, character, and soul. Now tell me, which of these 5 would you buy if money were not an issue? Leave it in the comments. And if you're one of those who sees a car not just as transportation, but as an extension of your personality, then maybe, in the future, one of these cars will belong to you too.